Welcome back to another Connection Card Pro tutorial/demo. In this tutorial, I'm going to quickly show you what all Connection Card Pro has to offer with regard to viewing a person's profile in your database, all the different attributes and features that are available, and what you can do or how you can use this to better manage or more efficiently manage your ministry. From our person list, we can click on View for any of our individuals here, and this will take us to a person profile where we can see just some basic content information about them right off the bat, along with whether or not there's been a recent interaction, which I will dive into in just a minute. A few tabs across the top here to show us different information about this individual, the ability to click on the edit button to edit this individual. We can see here any groups or lists that this individual is part of will be listed across the bottom here, so we can see that they are part of the grade 12 boys small group, and they're also a member of the custom list called supporters. As we scroll down, we have a personal information section, which just has any information or basic contact information about this individual. And we can keep going, and we have a family section where we can see their family position, their marital status, and we can link these individuals to any other individual within our database as a parent or a child or any other family connection. So if we were to click on our button here, we can link a child, a parent, or another family member. We can click on that, and we can choose who it is that we want to link and what type of relationship they have. Scrolling down a bit farther, we have our organization connection area where we can see certain attributes with regard to this individual's connection to our organization, such as their first attendance date or their classification. There are a few other options here as well once we edit the individual, and we can also see that they are included in our physical mailing list, they are included in our email mailing lists, and they are allowed to self-manage their information. There's also a background check section if you are managing volunteers who may be working with children and you want to run a background check on them. You can order a background check through Connection Card Pro, or you can also just record their background check information in here as well if you've already ran or received the background check through another service, just so that you have that in one central place. We can record any information that we want to record about this individual's school or the occupation that they have. We can also record custom fields, and so you can create any number of custom fields within Connection Card Pro. Custom fields that you have can be added to any individual's profile so that you can track any additional information that you want to be able to track. We also have a medical details section if you want to track medical details. Let's say you have a bunch of campers at camp one week and you need to record some medical details about allergies or any concerns that parents have that you should be aware of. That can be recorded here as well. You can see here that some of these sections have a little I with a slash through them. That just means that many users can be restricted from viewing these sections separate from the rest of the information about this individual. And you have the ability to control that within the Administrative User Roles page found at Manage and Administrative User Roles. So back to our Colby August test individual. At the very top here, you can see it says last interaction June 1st, 2022, as well as a new interaction button. This simply tells us that this was a recent interaction that occurred with this individual. Someone called him on June 1st. If I want to add an additional interaction, I can click on this new interaction button. Interactions is a feature that we've created to allow you to keep track of when any of your staff or other leaders have interacted with any individuals within your church. This allows you to make sure that no one falls through the cracks. You can check to make sure if we haven't heard from someone in a while, or if no one has reached out to this person in a few weeks or in a couple months, then maybe we should reach out to them. Any interactions that you record, you'll be able to see on your person list. If you're using your follow-up column, you'll be able to view the last time that someone interacted with this individual. So if we were to add an interaction, we can choose who it is that interacted with this individual. So we'll just choose myself. We can choose the date of interaction. Let's just say that it was yesterday, and let's say that we went for coffee. So we can choose from any number of options. I can also choose to leave some extra notes. We talked about a lot of great things. And if I save that interaction, you'll see that now it's going to show us a green tab here that says recent interaction on June 23rd. Shows us that this is great. Someone has connected with this individual in the past couple of weeks. And on our notes tab, the note that we just entered is also saved in here as well. So back to our profile tab, this is our basic information about any individual. I will cover these tabs in just a second, but if I were to click edit, you can see here that all of this information is really only showing us the information that's actually saved for this person, just so that you don't have a too cluttered of a view with a bunch of extra fields that don't actually exist. But if we were to click on edit, you'll have access to all of our available fields. You can see there's quite a few more fields available where we can enter information about this individual, what their family settings are, whether or not they're part of a different household, or their anniversary, their spouse, all of their organization connections, whether they were referred by an individual. So let's say this person was referred by Brian Lawrence. And we can choose whether or not background check is required. Let's say it is required and it was received and it is satisfactory. We can add any extra custom fields. We can add any medical details or any other information that we want to add in here as well, and as well as adding them to any number of groups. So let's say we want to also add him to the media crew, and he is part of the graphics, lyrics, and the sound or front of house position. He's a member. Let's say he's a leader in this crew. So we'll go ahead and click save, and we can see that this person is now part of our crew. Continuing on with the rest of our tabs, we can click on attendance, and this is where we can record attendance for this individual. There are many other ways to record attendance as well, which are much more efficient than doing it one by one in the person's profile. But if you, for some reason, needed to go back and just record an attendance record for one individual as you're viewing them here, you have the ability to do so right here really, really quickly. We can view a chart of all of their past attendance, and we can see that it's broken down by our meeting times. Our meeting times are going to be covered in a different tutorial or demo video, but we can break it down by our meeting times as well as any other groups or classes that they attended, so that we can see what sorts of activities or meeting times or gatherings this individual is attending, as well as a complete list of all of their attendance record down below. Moving on to our communication tab, we can see here any text message conversations that are taking place with this individual through Connection Card Pro. Currently, there are no messages or conversations happening that this individual is part of, and we can also see all of our interactions and follow-up records down below. So we can see that over the past couple months, this individual has been followed up with 3 times. We can also add a new interaction really easily from here as well. On the Events tab, you'll be able to view any events or registrations that this person is part of. On our Giving tab, we can see all of their giving information. We can record a new gift for this individual as well. We can view their past giving records, see how much they've given over time, and view all the information down here. Of course, all of the giving information, you can control who can or cannot see that. You may want to limit the giving information and the Giving tab to only certain admin users, only the ones that need to see that information, and not allow all of your admin users or staff to see that. That can be done really easily in the Manage Administrative User Roles page, where you can set up your administrative user roles to limit who is able to view the Giving tab. We also have a Notes tab where you can view any notes that have been saved, or you can create a new note by clicking on Add Note. You can enter any sort of information here as long as you want, and choose what type of note this is. Maybe it's a personal note shared, or a personal note that's private, only you. This means that only you who creates this note can see this note, whereas a shared note is visible to all of your administrative users. So let's say you want to save a note about this person saying, this person has requested blah, 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 and you want to make sure that all of your administrative users can see that, all of your other staff or leaders can see that. You would save this as a shared note, but if this is more of a personal note, you just want to keep track of what you talked about with a recent conversation that you had with this individual, then you can choose to make this a private note so that only you can see it. You can also upload an image to go along with this note as well if you choose to. And lastly, we have the Prayer tab, very similar to the Notes tab, but it just tracks a little bit differently, allows you to keep track of any prayer requests that this person may have, and you can record that, save that here. So let's just say whatever prayer request here, and we'll click Save. Within our prayer request tab, we can see that we can actually mark this as resolved. And so we can see that there's a prayer request entered here. We can click it as resolved. So if you or any of your staff or other leaders are spending time going through different individuals and praying for them on a regular basis, you can keep track of their prayer requests here in the prayer tab, as well as marking whether or not that is a resolved prayer request. So maybe it's an opportunity to give praise and give thanks, and to just be able to have a bit of a prayer journal going to know when prayer requests are being answered. If you are using Connection Card Pro's text messaging service, then you can also use your phone number and set up a keyword such as prayer, allowing any individuals within your church or organization to send the keyword prayer to the phone number that's assigned to your church, and they'll receive a link to a very simple and easy form where they can also submit their own prayer requests, which will show up here as well. So that is a really quick rundown of what Connection Card Pro offers when you are viewing and managing a person's profile, along with all the information that you are able to store in your database on individuals and how you can use this to be more effective in your ministry. Thanks for watching, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to check out all of our other demos and tutorial videos to show you the many other features that Connection Card Pro has to offer. Thanks for watching.